On each side of the altar should be a pillar or obelisk with countercharges in black and white. Below it should be the dais of 3 steps in black and white squares. Above it is the super altar, at whose top is the stele of revealing and reproduction with 4 candles on each side of it. Below the stele is a place for the book of the law with 6 candles on each side of it. Below this again is the Holy Grail with roses on each side of it. There's room in front of the cup for the paten. On each side beyond the roses are 2 great candles. Just through this description, then we'll go back and cover some of this. All this is enclosed within a great veil. All this is kind of difficult to determine exactly what they mean by all this, as to whether the pillars are supposed to be enclosed within the veil or not. We used to have the pillars enclosed within the veil, but with our temple setup, you couldn't ever see them, so we moved them out in front the way they are here. Forming the apex of an equilateral triangle whose base is a line drawn between the pillars is a small black square altar of superimposed cubes. This is termed throughout the script as either the small altar or the altar of incense. It is never referred to in here as the fire altar. Taking this altar as the middle of the base of a similar and equal triangle probably really actually means the center of a similar and equal triangle. At the apex of this second triangle is a small circular font. Repeating the apex of a third triangle is an upright tomb down there.
How small is small? That's pretty big to me.
This is pretty big. This is a decent size. I mean, it's you can still access anything that's on top.
It's smaller than than the main altar, basically.
Yeah, it should be at a lower height than the main altar. It's smaller than that. And of course, you know, we have Temple of Solomon symbolism
Right.
here. With the Ark of the Covenant up there, and the altar of burnt offerings here, and the brazen sea down there. Okay, what we have set up here, as probably everybody here knows, is a conventional Golden Dawn style tree of life with the sacral triad up there on the altar, the veil of the abyss, Hokmah, and Bina. On the cover, well, actually it's been cropped off of the photograph, but on the original photo here they had the white obelisk on this side and the black obelisk on this side. I could never figure out why they did it that way. It might just be that the photograph, the negative, was printed the other way around. But in order to get the appropriate traditional Golden Dawn Tree of Life symbolism, the white pillar should be on the right as Hokmah. We have the black pillar, the small altar as Tiferet, the small cubical altar as Tiferet. I think the cubic stone being a symbol of Tiferet, with 8 corners. And 8 is a good number for Tiferet, 8 being the number of redemption and all that, 8 being the number of paths that go in and out of Tiferet. The font is Yesod, and the tomb is Malkut. We also see the Tree of Life recapitulated on the altar itself. Where we don't have the paten up here. Let's move the paten. The stele would be at Kether. The book of the law would be at Tiferet. Okay, the logos, the law, the word at Tiferet. The cup itself at Yesod for Yahweh's symbolism. And then when the priestess comes in and places the paten on the altar, she completes the Tree of Life here by adding the paten, the pantacle at Malkut. Okay, so you have the whole Tree of Life again recapitulated up here. Did you have another one?
Basically, it's the altar itself, the altar. She's like the altar.
Elaborate on that.
Again, there's priestess here. We'll try everything else.
Okay.
You can also take the tree as being directly represented in the 3 system triads.
What was that again, Jeff?
I said you can also take stele along stuff as being directly representative of the 3 supernal satellites.
Kether, Hokmah, Bina.
Yeah.
And a lot of this question.
I have a question about the term super altar. My only familiarity with the super altar is, other than this, is in Roman Catholicism where it's actually a separate altar.
Right. Actually, I think super altar, I'm not so sure if it's really, if that term is used so much in the Roman Catholic Church. Is it really? I know it's used in Masonry.
Yeah,
It's
In
used in
the-
Roman
it's
Catholicism.
the separate altar further back.
Okay,
Or
there are
just
also,
pre-Vatican
there are a
II
couple of
Roman
other terms in
Catholicism.
Roman Catholicism. There's the grading and the redible.
Well, pre-Vatican II Roman Catholicism had a super altar, which was specifically set back behind,
That'd
and
be the
it was
redible.
actually the place where the elements were stored in some cases, and it acts more as an enclosure.
And it could be, as I understand, it could be an extremely
Yeah.
elaborate structure.
Yeah.
I've seen a
Tabernacle.
photograph of one where the redible or the super altar was about 5 times as big as the high altar.
Mhm.
And incredibly ornately decorated.
You find the same sort of thing, symbolism, within a Jewish synagogue, with the tabernacle being at the far back enclosed of the Torah, and then another altar a hair forward of that where it's actually placed once it's been brought out of the tabernacle.
Okay, but there's also the thing called a grading is a series of steps, 1, 2, or even 3 steps, I think, on some altars where they actually sit on top of the altar.
Mhm.
And as far as whether or not we have to adhere to either one of those modes, I'm not sure that we really need to worry about that, whether it's something that's sitting on the back of the altar or something that is detached from the altar. I'm not sure it really matters that much.
I have always been of the opinion that the usage of the word super altar in this was a direct derivation of the fact that Crowley got his mainstream ideas from Greek Orthodoxy, which is still, the concept of the super altar is still in use within Greek Orthodox, even though it is not anymore within Roman Catholicism due to the changes within Vatican II.
Right. And that may be the case, but also super altar is a term that's definitely used in Freemasonry. Of course, Freemasonry is a big influence on Crowley. And just from my study of the Gnostic Mass and the Roman Catholic and the Chrysostom liturgy, the Gnostic Mass is much closer to the standard Roman Catholic Tridentine or even the Sarum Mass than it is to the Greek Orthodox tradition. Although we have, at least in legend, the fact that Crowley was inspired by the Mass at St. Basil's to inspire the Gnostic Mass.
Which is actually Roman Orthodoxy, which is slightly different.
Slightly different from what?
From Greek
It's still the
Orthodox.
Chrysostom liturgy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Their movement, from what little I know of it, their movements about the temple space are slightly different.
Nevertheless, if you compare the Gnostic Mass to any one of the various Orthodox liturgies versus Roman Catholicism, the standard Roman Catholic liturgy, you'll find it's very similar to Roman Catholic, much more similar to Roman Catholic liturgy. I have been told by someone who knows better than I do that a lot of the wording that's in our Gnostic Mass is almost directly taken from the Sarum Mass, which is one of the medieval English masses that's only Latin. I have yet to try to